Hey everybody, thank you for checking out Trent Rommann Golf. Today I'm coming at you with a video of myself playing the back nine of Crestview Country Club, site of the Corn Ferry Tour Wichita Open and the famous 17th hole. I am gonna play holes, again, 10 through 18, but what's a little different about this video that I think sets it apart from other playing videos is that I'm going to tell you a little bit about course management, the decisions that I'm making for each specific shot, lines off of tees and why I choose those clubs, distances into the green, wind, shot shape, lies, things like that all factor in to how how a professional plays a golf shot. Okay, I hope you maybe can learn something as the viewer that you might be able to immediately implement into your golf game to help you shoot. If your goal is to shoot lower scores, it may help you shoot lower scores. Maybe if it's just to not lose as many golf balls. Better decision making, shot selection, and club selection off of the tee and into the green will help you shoot lower scores, lose less golf balls, and have more fun playing golf. So I hope you enjoy watching, and thanks. Okay, hole 10, par 4, the dog leg right, and through the fairway left. We can get into a little bit of trouble, especially since it's downwind. It's a hole I like to be aggressive on, and so we're going to tee up this golf ball on the left-hand side of the tee to give us a little bit better angle to cut off some of this hole down the right-hand side. Even if we end up in the right-hand trees, we can generally still get a ball up near the green, if not on the green, because the trees on the right-hand side are so sparse. But anything left is usually a penalty stroke in those left trees. So again, left-hand side of the trees, favor the right side and give it a little whack. It's a 404-yard par 4. I've got 100 yards left into the green. And as you can see, like we talked about on the tee shot, the trees are sparse, but I've left myself in here behind a pretty large tree directly in line with the flag. So from 100 yards, I know I cannot go over this tree. Obviously can't go through it. So I'm going to look at something, where can I get this golf ball up and down? And anywhere short and right of the green is a pretty easy pitch. The flag is right in the center of the green. And the grass is pretty sparse, and I'm able to get a pretty good amount of club on the back side of this golf ball. So I'm going to take a 7-iron, and I'm going to put it back in my stance and just try to hit a little punch draw, keep it nice and low, and let it hopefully roll up somewhere short. If I get lucky, it'll get on the green. Got it. Woo! Got it hooking around that tree nicely, and was able to actually roll that one right up on the green. I've got a 21-foot putt here. It's going back up the hill, and I think a little bit right to left. I've got two spots kind of picked out about 5 or 6 feet short of the cup, and I'm going to try to roll them right between those two spots. Again, it's about a 20 to 21 foot putt, up the hill and right to left. Just trying to get good speed on this putt. Little firm. Rolling about 2.5, 3 feet by. All right, we're on hole number 11 north. It's a 318-yard par 4. It's got trees pinching on both sides. I hit my driver about 300 yards, slightly into the wind today, and a little cooler temperatures, about 55, 60 degrees. But I know my miss is to the left-hand side. If I miss left, I can usually have a shot through the trees. The right side, the trees are a little thicker and they're also a little taller, so I can't play under them quite as well or over them. The reason I'm hitting a driver, an iron or hybrid, a 3-wood doesn't really help me hit it any straighter. You only hit a 3-wood about 1% straighter than a driver, so I'm not gonna go back to a 3-wood. It would leave me some sort of long iron and then a full wedge in. Not necessarily the worst play, something out there about 200 yards and then an iron in from there 130 to 150 yards. But I feel pretty confident that I can hit a driver up there close to the green today. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a rip. I'm behind another tree, but I'm pretty close here up by the green. I'm definitely not, I don't have a view directly at the pin, as you can see, but anything kind of short and right of the green, short on the front of the green wouldn't be too bad. I'm just gonna make sure, and have a limited follow through, just trying to pitch it out somewhere on the front of this green. Okay, got it a little long and right of the flag, about 30 feet. Anywhere on the green is pretty good from there. I ended up in a tough spot. Got a putt for birdie, about 30 feet. Now, honestly, pretty happy with this putt, this opportunity, based on where I was playing my second shot from. So anywhere out on the green is good. We've got a little bit right to left, but again at 30 feet, we're looking at trying to get this anywhere inside of 3 feet for my par would be a great putt. Didn't really have any left turn to it. Got a 3-footer coming back. Looks like they've rolled or definitely cut the greens today. But like I said, from 30 feet, got it up here about 3 feet left. We saw it go by the hole and it was pretty straight, so pretty straight on the way back. And we're in. And that's a par on 11. We're on hole 12, north course. We've got 158 yards from the blue tees. Got minimal, couple mile-an-hour breeze downwind. Flag is in the middle to back of the green. I've got an 8-iron here, which is about my 150, 155 club. Hoping that if I get all of it, it'll get all the way to the back of the green at about 160. But if I miss hit it a little bit, it'll come up in the middle, maybe even the front of the green if I miss it a lot. So The one place you make sure you need to cover is short of the short of the green, and definitely making sure that you get over that water. So taking a little extra club and planning for that miss hit can be a thought, or should be a thought, going into this hole. And we're going to aim just about 3 to 5 yards right of that flag, and that second pine tree from the back of the green from the left. And all right, we've got this ball about, we actually ended up hitting this probably 7 to 10 yards past pin high, so I ended up hitting this 8-iron about 165. I've got an okay lie, a little bit of grass behind the golf ball, so I know it's going to come out a little soft. It's not going to have a lot of friction because of that grass in between the ball and the club that I'm going to get there. So we know it's going to roll out a little bit. I've got plenty of green to work with. I am hitting a 60-degree wedge, but I'm just going to hit a straightforward kind of chip shot, weight on my front foot, try to land it just on the green, and let it trickle down. I am going to get a little more weight on this front foot to help me get a little steeper, to kind of help eliminate some of the grass behind that golf ball. Pretty good there, very happy with that. Left me about a 6-inch tap in for par. And we're on to 13. All right, we're on hole number 13 north. It's a 385-yard par 4. Not a real long hole, but as you can see here, we've got water all the way down the left-hand side of the hole, which is penalty area. And then out of bounds is wet pretty far to the right, but we do have some trees, especially a really big tree on the right-hand side that can kind of block out your second shot if you get going a little too far. So I'm going to break this hole into 2 pieces. I've got a 21-degree hybrid out here. We're going to try to hit something about 220 yards. We are slightly back into the breeze, so I'm going to play it just a little bit back in my stance to help me kind of flight it a little bit lower, and putting it back in my stance, it'll make me hit a little more steep on the ball and hopefully prevent some of the possibility of this ball going to the left. Aim right at that big, tall tree, back in my stance. Get her go. Well, we're in the right fairway, right rough, maybe kind of flared it, but it's playable. Just enough here to catch the right rough. Now it's winter here, so I don't have a lot of deep grass. It's a little more mud, but I feel like I can get to the back of the ball pretty well, so I might be able to curve it a little bit. I've got 190 yards to the flag, and I've got 170 yards to carry that front bunker. Now I'm in a tough spot, okay? I need to take my medicine. This is where if I'm trying to make bogey, if I make a par, that's great. Let's avoid the double bogey, because again, I'm 190 yards out in a 4-tee shot, and I'm behind the trees. So I'm going to aim considerably left of the trees here, basically at that bunker on the left-hand side of the green. Put the ball a little back in my stance, and if I can cut it a little bit, great. If it stays left and I'm in the bunker, that's fine as well. We just got to make sure we kind of hit a solid shot, give ourselves a chance to get up and down. Actually got it cutting back there pretty well. May have found the green, but it got going in the right direction. I miraculous 4-iron from behind the trees, landed just short of the green and rolled up here to about 3 feet. I've got probably a left center putt for birdie. And I'm gonna hit this one right there. And it's par. We're on 14 North. It's a 484-yard par 5. Dogleg to the left. You've got out of bounds left, and you've got trees but just open grass on the right-hand side. You've got a fairway bunker that's about 240, 250 to cover. And then I've got about 280 to 290 through the fairway on a straight line at those big trees. So I'm going to choose 3-wood 100% because I'm looking to place the ball over those bunkers on a straight line down the fairway, but not go through the fairway. That is my goal. If I hit driver, I'm going to have to take a line a little more left, kind of cut it over those trees, and that brings a little bit more of that left ball and that out of bounds into play. I'm just going to take a nice conservative line just right of those big tall trees and just hit a nice solid 3-wood. Good ball there, just right side of the fairway. Got our second shot in here on 14. We've got 244 yards. The theme of this back 9 has definitely been tree trouble. I've got some big tree on the right-hand side. It's fairly easy for me to cut my 3-wood off the ground. I've got a decent line, not too much grass behind the ball, so I might or should be able to curve it a little bit. I'm going to aim at the left bunker, just left of the green. If I'm going to miss, I want to overcut it. Okay, it's going to give me the most green to work with for my 3rd shot coming back up the green, okay? That's kind of what my thought is here, but I'm definitely going to give myself plenty of room left of that big tree, so even if I do push it, I will miss that tree, but I'm also going to make sure that I cut it and really hold on to that release. Front bunker. Front left bunker. I've got about a 15-yard bunker shot. Good lie, slightly on the upslope. Flag is in the middle of the green. I've got my 60-degree lob wedge. I'll open up the face a little bit and fly it most of the way there with hopefully a little bit of spin. As I set my feet into the sand, I'm feeling there's quite a bit of sand, so I'm going to hit it a little bit firmer. I can feel the sand is, again, pretty thick and pretty deep. Right at it, up there about 3 feet again. Got about 3-footer, pretty straight up the hill, not much to it. Keep this one right inside the middle of the hole. And now I'm 1 under through 5. All right, we're on 15 North. We've got a dog leg right to left, about a 370-yard par 4. There's water short of the green. Over the hill, you can see a bunker on the left-hand side. It's about 200 yards to carry that bunker. So I've pulled out my hybrid. I'm gonna aim slightly right of that bunker. I've got a telephone pole kind of in the distance. I've pulled a club that if I do pull it, I should be able to carry the bunker and get into the fairway. And if I hit it to the right, it's pretty open. There's some rough on the right-hand side that shouldn't cause me too much trouble. So again, we're going for about a 220-yard shot. We're gonna aim it right at that telephone pole and give it a rip. I hit it really thin. I hit it off the bottom of the club. Barely got off the ground, but not gonna cause me any troubles, thankfully. As you can see, I don't hit it perfect most of the time, apparently. But as they say, that was a good miss. Forgiving hybrid got me out there. May have a little longer in than anticipated, but I should be in the fairway. All right, we've got 146 yards to the flag. We've got water short, but that flag being all the way in the back of the green, I've probably got about 20 yards, 15 to 20 yards of green to work with short of the green. So again, I've got 146 yards, maybe 125, 130 to the front. Kind of in between clubs. I could hit a soft 8 back there, or I can hit a hard 9. I'm going to go with the hard 9 because the hard 9 should guarantee that I don't go over the green. The one place you don't want to go, especially with this back flag on this green, is long. Shouldn't have any issues getting over that water. Something to kind of be aware of. If that flag would be in the front, you would want to take a little extra club just to make sure that you cover that water. So again, I'm gonna hit a little 9-iron. I'm gonna take it slightly right of the flag. Hopefully put it right in the middle of this green. And that's exactly where I hit it. 19, 20-foot putt up the hill, left myself in a pretty good spot here. A putt that I can kind of be aggressive with. It's going to go a little left to right, so I've got a spot kind of picked out here between a couple of bowl marks that I want to get that putt started and going through. And then from there, we're just going to try to get the right speed. Short, a little right, kind of underplayed that break. Sitting here on 16 north, we've got a dog leg right to left, 350-yard par 4. We've got some trees on the left-hand side that end at about 200 to 220 yards. So I feel pretty confident that I can get it over those trees on the left where it opens up on the left-hand side. To the right, there are some sporadic big trees, but again, they're not so dense that you can't play at or around the green from them. So I'm going to be aggressive here. I'm going to hit a driver. It is a little downwind. I'm going to tee it up a little higher. This one I'm going to hit a little bit harder at 340. We'll see if we can't get one up there and get it close to the green. I'm going to go right over the big tree on the left-hand side of this hole. Give away. Here on 16, being aggressive, I've left myself about 45 yards to a middle flag. I need to fly it about 40 yards. I've got my 60-degree lob wedge, and I've practiced a lot of these shots on TrackMan, and I know for myself, getting that left arm at about parallel or just about chest high and kind of pivoting through from there, that's about my 40-yard shot. So I've kind of practiced that and dialed it in. Let's see if we can execute it. I'm going to go straight at this flag, not in front of the green. That's going to get me in any trouble. Give it my best shot. Choke almost down to the middle. Just a little short. Needed to fly it a couple more yards, but got to putt at it. About a 21-foot putt here. From 45 yards, I'm not really ecstatic about that shot, but it was a couple yards from flying really where I wanted it to on the front of the green, and then skipping up to the hole. I just landed it short in that fringe and it kind of killed it. So here's what it is. Again, I've still got a 21-footer up the hill. Too much in it. Up the hill I can be a little more aggressive with it. Much stayed straight. If anything, maybe went a little left. So another tap in par 4. 17 north here. It's a par 3. Got 170 yards to the flag. I've got 152 yards to clear the front bunker, and I've probably got about 175, 180 to the back of the green. Now, it is downwind just slightly, very similar hole and similar wind direction to hole number 12 when I played it earlier. Now on hole 12, if you remember, I hit it probably 10 yards too far. So I was trying to hit about a 152, 154 shot, and I ended up carrying it about 160, 162, 63. That's going to be the perfect shot for this particular hole. So I'm going to go with my 8-iron. It's a club I can kind of be aggressive with. I'm going to hit it right at the middle of the green, right over that small bunker in the middle, in the center of the green. And I can be nice and aggressive. Shot. Just a little left of the flag, but should have a look at birdie. About a 15-footer here for birdie. Was able to hit that aggressive 8-iron, get it up here just a hair past pin high. I've got probably a 1 or 2% left to right slope. This is a putt I'm going to be careful with. The greens aren't really fast, but I'm going to have a little bit more die speed, so I'm going to play it out there on the left-hand side, probably 3-4 inches to the left, and let it die down there to the hole. Maybe 6 inches left. That's probably around there. Just a hair too much speed. Kind of been underplayed a few putts today, so definitely wanted to give it more, and paid the price, missed it on the high side. All right, 2-foot comebacker here. Into the bottom for another par. Hole 18 of the North Course. I am sitting at 1 under par on the back 9. Missed a short one on 13 for birdie, but other than that, without really making any putts, sitting at 1 under par through 8 is, on the back is pretty good. This hole is a 495-yard par 5. You've got a dog leg right to left. You've got water about 200, 220 down the right side. And then after that, it's OB all the way down the entire length of the hole. The left-hand side, we've got big trees But they're, again, trees this time of year especially, that you can play out of them. You can hit low punch out shots. You can kind of even go high if you need to, because there are no leaves this time of year. So, but definitely favoring the left-hand side of this hole is what I've got to do, because we can't go and get too aggressive and cut off too much of this hole. I've got a driver. We've got some bunkers out here at about 180 to 200 off the tee box. And I'm going to go ahead and take this tee ball just on the left-hand side of this big tree, and we're going to give it a rip. Good ball there. Hit it a little off the heel, so it came off a little spinny with a little bit of fade to the right. Probably going to be in the right rough, but good start line. And we'll be able to cut off a little bit of this hole, hopefully get home in two. In here, I'm at 232 yards out. Ended up in the right rough. Actually didn't get any roll out at all, so we just kind of stuck. It's playing pretty wet right now, but 232 uphill, a little bit into the wind. I've got a back right flag. Anything short and left is a relatively easy pitch back up the hill. So I'm going to try to favor the short left-hand side of this green. If in case, the chances are of me hitting this green are probably not great, but I want to leave myself an easier pitch or chip shot back up the hill. I could hit a 3-wood and definitely get it back to that back flag, but I would be worried that it could find its way over the back of the green. And again, I want to stay kind of short of this flag. So I'm going to hit a hybrid, and I'm going to aim at that left-hand side, the left tree, which is basically left center of the green. And I'm going to hammer it. And leaked that one out to the right. I did exactly what I said I wouldn't do. Second shot coming into this par 5 has left us about 20 yards. We're short and right. Honestly, it's not a terrible spot. The lie is not great, as you can kind of see, but I've got some green to work with. I've got my 60-degree lob wedge, and I'm going to play this pretty much straight at this flag. Anything short and left will still give me a pretty good putt at birdie. I am going to put a little bit more weight on my left-hand side, and then I'm going to try to hinge my wrists a little more vertically in the backswing, give me kind of a steeper angle of attack to pop down, kind of dig this ball out of the rough. I was able to get it out up there about 4 or 5 feet right of the flag. Pretty happy with that shot. About a 5-footer downhill for a birdie 4. I'd like to make this putt, but I also got to be relatively cognizant of the fact that it is downhill, a little bit downwind. So I have to be just a little bit careful with the speed. Don't see the putt doing too much. Play it about right center and give it good speed. In the bottom of the cup, that's 2 under 34 on the back 9 of the North course. Bogey free. Pretty happy with that. Good course management. Didn't have, honestly, very good control of my golf ball at all. I hit a lot of not solid golf shots, but I was able to get myself around the course, punching out of trouble, getting out from behind trees, getting it on the green, saving my pars, and then taking advantage of both of the par fives for a nice little 34. It's about getting yourself around the course. You're not going to hit it perfect every day. Best players in the world hit 13, 14 greens around. But what they do is they turn bogeys into pars, and occasionally they'll get a birdie out of there, but they do not turn bogeys into doubles. And I did that really, really well today. When I got out of position, I got back into a good spot. So happy to go.